The third part of that triple threat situation involves the shot, fake shot, and a little bit of the crossover as well as the drive to the basketball hole. So, and that is, when you jab, the defense does not react, or it does react. It takes a step back. Now, you bring the shot into motion. If you fake this, or you want to shoot it, or if you're a good shooter, this is a move you probably should use more often because it gets the defense off balance. If you jab, now you come up for the shot, 9 times out of 10, if you're a good shooter, the defense is going to come this way. And as a defensive player, you never want to be out of position. Once you're out of the air or out of position, offensive player can attack that position. So when the defense goes up, now you can go this way, go to the hole, stop, pull up, and shoot a jump shot. All right? If you're a good shooter, Glenn Rice, if you fake the shot or you jab, now he doesn't react or he does react, take a step back, now it opens you up for the shot. Now if you make a couple of those shots, his first reaction is, well, I can't let him shoot another jump shot. I got to come up there and challenge it. So he's going to come up and challenge. Now I'm going past him because he's out of his defensive stance. So if you understand what I'm talking about, it puts the offensive player in a great advantage because the defense the whole time is guessing. And you know when you guess, you have an opportunity of being right, and you have an opportunity of being wrong. And I like those odds as an offensive player. You're always going to protect the basketball. That goes without saying. As an offensive player, you always want to protect the basketball. And the best way that I was taught to protect the basketball in a triple threat situation is to always put your body between the ball and the defense. Good defensive players, if you put the ball out here, have long enough arms. Scottie Pippen, for one, can slap it. Your momentum is going this way and the ball is going that way. Good way to correct that is when you jab, now you change. If you put the ball here, you got protection from your right leg. Your hand should be here protecting the basketball anyway. So now the only way the defense can get to that ball is to go through your arms, go through your legs. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a foul. Defensive boards are much more prestigious than offensive boards because defense takes a lot of work. Defense is something that everybody is not capable of doing or don't have the desire to do. If you force yourself or challenge yourself to play solid defense and you do it very well and you receive awards for that, I think you should be very appreciative of those rewards because anybody can shoot a basketball in the hole. Very few people can stop the offensive player from doing the things that he probably would want to do. Before you take your stance, look how the defense is playing you, and then decide which is your pivot foot, your right foot or your left foot, and then attack it. If you can't, you can still do the same moves. If you're caught with the left foot being your pivot, you can still jab here and go this way. But you see the thing that you're going to have to do with that is when you do this, you expose the basketball in transition of trying to go this way. Good defensive players have good hands. So you have to protect the ball this way, swing it low, and have a good firm hold to change your direction. If he's going to grab the basketball or grab your arm, hopefully the referee's going to see it. If you're Alvin Robinson, who I played against, they probably won't see it. So if you have good firm hold on the basketball, you can swing it through low and strong enough to attack the defense. All right, the most difficult shot other than the free throw is a fadeaway. I get a lot of questions from kids and even grown-ups and adults about a fadeaway jump shot. Well, there's no correct fundamental way of shooting a fadeaway. I can give you some tips in terms of what to think about. In some circumstances, it's kind of against some of the fundamentals, but yet if you do it and you practice it enough, it can become a routine, and if you repeat it, it becomes a habit. Okay, in shooting a fadeaway, the one thing that you try to do is create space between the defense. You try as much as possible to square your shoulders up so you're shooting towards your target. A lot of the times you're not going to be able to square them completely up, but you're going to square them up enough to it you can make your jump shot and make your adjustments to shoot the basketball. So, but you also got to be able to go both ways. That's the key component in terms of as an offensive player, as I mentioned earlier, you want to be able to use all aspects of the shot, not just one side, not just turning over your right shoulder, but also turning over your left. And that's another instance of trying to keep the defense off balance so they cannot limit your options. So, if I'm posting up on the left block, I got a good stance, got a good balance, I feel the defense either putting the forearm or feeling the pressure from the defense, I can pick and choose because of the way I feel the defense pressure to go the opposite way or go opposite of where the pressure is. Sometimes I can use as what I call the windshield wiper. And I'll tell you what the windshield wiper is. It's a fake to go one way and yet come back the other way. So there's no different when the defense is trying to force you to go one way that you fake one way and then come back the other way, keeping the defense off balance. So if the defense is standing behind me with his forearm, his right forearm, he's trying to keep you from going to the middle. He wants you to turn that way. Well, that's when I give the old fake, come back this way. And in doing that, as you can see in the fadeaway, and I can give you a lot more height when I have a defensive player on me, but I'm trying to show you the fundamentals of the fadeaway is when I'm turning with the notion of catching my target but not exposing the basketball here because the defense now can get to the basketball. So when I'm turning high. So when I'm turning and I'm squaring up to the target, I'm bringing the basketball at a higher portion or angle that the defense cannot strip at the basketball. Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, all those defensive players, when they're playing the post, are very good at when you bring the ball here, it brings the little men in play, it brings a quicker defensive player in play. If you bring it here, you eliminate the little people, and it's hard for the defense to reach over your elbow and make a clean block. So, in the fadeaway, you're creating space here. As you see, my left foot is going to come back away from the defense, and you got to have strong enough wrist, and you have to practice this shot so you can make your adjustments shooting the basketball, moving away from the target, which is kind of opposite of what you're taught, which is one of the reasons it's not fundamentally the shot to shoot, but it's a great shot if you perfect it to create space from the defense and yet a hard shot to play defense towards. So, fade away, using my left, pushing off my legs, falling back, shooting towards the basketball goal. Now, it wouldn't be of any interest or purpose if you can only do it to the right side, so you got to be able to do it fake here, doing basically the same thing, protecting the basketball, pushing off, shooting towards your target. In my earlier years, I think crossing over, going to my crossover step and the jab step, triple threat situation was one of my favorite moves. And then later in my years, my turn-away fadeaway was probably the move that defenders had a tough time stopping, and it gave me the opportunity to capitalize on the multiple defensive situations and the double teaming that I had to deal with in the later portions of my years. As I said, now you got to be able to shoot it on both sides. And it doesn't change going from that side of the court to this side of the court. Everything are basically the same. You always want to protect the basketball as an offensive player. So if I'm going baseline to shoot my fadeaway, I'm not carrying the ball low, trying to gain up and get momentum. I'm carrying it high so the defense cannot strip at the basketball. So once I carry it, my left, trying to square up my shoulders towards the target, but I'm pushing away from the target itself. Okay? When I go to the right, nothing changes from what happened on the other side. I'm leading with my left, carrying the ball high, pushing off, fading from the basketball. Now, let's do it in quick form so you can see how everything operates. Here, 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 here. All right? It takes a lot of energy from your legs. It takes a lot of loading up from your legs to get the height and the momentum going away from your target, which is not customary how you should shoot a basketball, not fundamentally sound, but yet it's a shot that creates space from your defense, and if you perfect it, it's hard to defend.